Hello everyone, I am Bartolo for Gallery Teachers and we are producing a series of videos about TEFL, which is teaching English as a foreign language. Today we are going to talk about how to become a YouTube celebrity to help your business as an English teacher. Today we have a very special guest. She's an English teacher and the founder of the school Fantastic English. It's very likely that you already know her. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Rita from Fantastic English.
I was just like, yay! Some sort of. It's an honor to hear that. I feel, to be fair, I feel uncomfortable every time that happens, even if people tell me like, why would you? You're really, really popular here. Who doesn't know about you? And I feel like I disagree with that. But probably the numbers talk for themselves. So yeah, I've been trying to improve the people's lives through education here, both in Romania and Moldova, and abroad, because there's a lot of Moldovans and Romanians who don't live in their country, who have emigrated and are currently living in the States and UK, and obviously all over the world. So I feel that what I'm doing helps a lot of people, hundreds of thousands of people, and this makes me feel like I am really doing something important, like I want to change people's lives through education. And one way to learn language is to try to teach it, or to look at this language as if you'd have to explain that point to someone, and then you definitely get it. That's the ultimate level.
One of the things that impressed me is that you address your communication to a specific target audience. You can build a strong relationship with your followers, but it's bad because you have to exclude everyone who doesn't speak Romanian. In English-speaking countries, most of the time we have cultural diversity among students, and we use English to teach English. We are forced to keep our communication on a very basic level. For example, it's very difficult to make a joke. In your channel, you use a lot of humor. What do you think are the main differences about teaching English using the language of your students and teaching English using English?
It's very different, but for the beginning, I'd have to make it clear kind of the reason I started to teach or to have this YouTube channel. And not only the YouTube channel, I actually started teaching on Instagram first, like in 2018. I was teaching on Facebook, it was basically a couple videos a year. So it wasn't really working or having lots of content there. But in 2018, I started having or posting videos on my Instagram account on a daily basis. And then I switched to YouTube and then TikTok. So I have these three social media accounts that I'm using right now. And it's funny because I didn't start the YouTube account per se, for the reason of growing or becoming an influencer or, I don't know, monetizing the channel as many people do. And I'm not judging because, everyone has their reasons. I'm not saying it's the wrong way to go on YouTube, but I started it because I realized that there is so many channels and videos that are made by native speakers, and not only native speakers, but are purely in English, and there is roughly nothing in Romanian. And so the average consumer from our country, from Moldova and from Romania, I consider it pretty much the same thing because we're neighbors, different countries, but we speak the same language, we have a common history. And so the average consumer here doesn't really have up until the moment I started my channels, didn't have any option of studying English online using Romanian, which is their mother tongue. And so I was like, well, that's what I'm going to do because I have this passion in teaching and helping people. And the only way I could have gotten to a large audience would have been to use Romanian, and it still is. But in the actual learning process in my school in Fantastic English, and both on my project for Rita Engleza, which is the Romanian word for English, Rita English. Contrary to that, we use predominantly English both at Fantastic English and in my own projects where I teach online courses. So that's the kind of, paradox here. I've been a teacher for the past 10 years. And we only use Romanian in the very beginning, when they're beginners, elementary maximum, starting the A2 level. And I mean to say A2 because everyone knows what CFR is, and it will be easier because for somebody, that's a problem with the levels. elementary for somebody is a beginner and for someone is a pre-intermediate. I'm like, no, 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 let's talk about the A1, A2. So starting from the A2 level, students are perfectly fine to use only English if it's a simplified language. And we're aware of that, and that's what we're doing. But contrary to that, on the YouTube channel, I cannot speak only English because, come on, there's so many other teachers, native speakers, like content creators who already do that. And so I thought I have to bring something different to the market. I can't just do the same thing that everyone is doing. And that's how I ended up using the Romanian predominantly there. But I'm gonna stress this even more. We don't do that in our school, starting the elementary pre-intermediate level. It's not that we don't do that and we have a choice. We don't actually even have a choice because as a founder of the school, and well, we have the head teachers in the departments that we have. There's general English, international exams English department, and the English for kids and teens. They have their teachers and their team, and they have to make sure that that's what's happening. But on a school level, we have this rule. We cannot use Romanian in teaching starting the elementary level, with minor exceptions if we talk about, for example, elementary level, an abstract word, and if that creates sort of a frustration or confusion in students, then we could go ahead and write it on the board or ask a student to translate it. But we have the rule of not using it ourselves, so that the student associates us with English predominantly, and this environment helps them learn even faster and better, and I'm sure you know it.
Yes, so what you are saying is that you are successful because you focus your communication on your target audience.
Probably, yeah, but there's no way I would know. Either way, I wouldn't do it otherwise, because if I spoke only English, that would be a kind of a filter for the vast majority who, well, people don't go on YouTube for real learning. They do want, it's not actually education, is edutainment, if you are familiar with the term. It's educational and education and entertainment combined. That's what people are on YouTube for, especially on channels such as mine. So I am perfectly aware of that. So why would I try to change the behavior of the consumer from YouTube? So I adjust. I do use English, but I speak their language. And then if they really have that desire to have not edutainment, but education, they come to our school, they come to our courses.
How much having a successful YouTube channel influenced your activities in your schools? I mean, is opening a YouTube channel a viable solution for a newly qualified teacher who is just starting out?
Definitely a viable solution. I'd have to say that there hasn't been a moment I regretted opening the YouTube channel or TikTok or my Instagram, although it is really time consuming. I started doing that when my child was 6 months old, and I do have my regrets, not connected to the content I created, but to the fact that I wasn't able to be with my child as much. But at the same time, I did that because I wanted to, to be both here and there, and somehow I succeeded. I wouldn't say it's a mandatory thing. I would not make it as a strict recommendation for a school to have the YouTube channel, because that doesn't, I don't think it works for everyone. You don't have the path to success that works for every single person or every single company or language school. But it sure helps the company, it sure does, because once you get to public and not only you have the channel, but you are relevant, you're posting content that is engaging, that people love, then it goes without saying that your brand awareness grows and that your customer, they say in sales, they have this term, is warmer. It warms up your customer because he's already acquainted to you. He's already seen you. And he trusts you. People watch me on YouTube, and when I meet them in school, they're like, I feel like I know you for years, although we meet for the first time, and it's amazing that we can create that connection with that many people using this tool. So I'd say that YouTube, as well as TikTok and Instagram or any other, I consider them a fantastic tool for both helping people out, because this is what we're doing as educators, and for promoting your business if that's what you're looking for. But I didn't start the channel for promoting my business, actually. Let me open a YouTube channel so that I can have 50K subscribers. No idea. I didn't think about that at all. And people very often now at this stage, they kind of, are skeptical when I say this. They don't believe me. Like, how come not? I mean, didn't you have this expectation you'd become an influencer? Or, first of all, I'm not an influencer. Second of all, no, I didn't have it. I was like, I just want to do it.
Yes, so you're using your passion. Is the passion that you have that motivates you more than thinking about business?
It would be excellent if in a company there would be both of these combined, because that's what makes the company growing. And in my case, the co-founder of the school, my husband, actually, he's in charge of the operations of the companies. He's the CEO and COO, both positions are his. So I'm the emotion part of the business and the passion and the why of the company. He's the how we do that. And so when these two are combined, it's going to go. You can't have just this. You have to have the strategies and the steps for growing to that. But I am absolutely positive that if a person opens a YouTube channel for the sake of growing a business only, he's going to fail. That motivation is not going to keep him motivated long enough. It will run out eventually. The person might experience a burnout, or if he doesn't see the expected results, the motivation will go down, and so will the passion and the energy that you send through these videos. And so it has to be both, but I would say that the passion is more important. Gotta have it and send it out there.
I think it's very important to have a good team. Most of the time, especially when we are creative people, we start a project and then it grows. And all of a sudden we realize that we reached our limit. And this is why I think the relationship with your husband is so important.
We actually have made videos together with translated songs from Romanian into English.
Yes.
Which is very funny because, the typical traditional Moldovan songs with our dances, and when you translate them to English, it sounds ridiculous, but we did that. It was very funny.
Is he your editor, or how does it work exactly?
Initially, when I set out on this journey, I started shooting the videos on my phone. This very phone, actually, I haven't changed it because I'm a minimalist and I don't encourage consumerism. But what I meant to say is that I shot the videos on my phone and I edited them myself, and I was posting them myself. But it took a lot of time. I was at the same time not just a YouTuber or Instagrammer. I had the school that I had to grow. At that time, we had around 300-400 customers enrolled in our school, and they would change every 2 months. And obviously now we're bigger. And so initially it was me. Later on, I hired an editor, a marketing specialist, so actually a team behind me that helps me with that. And I was very careful to choose the right people. Just like I'm careful to choose the right people in fantastic English who are dealing with education, I'm also careful to choose the right people who work with me on my social media accounts. But I still have to be in charge of coordinating these operations. He doesn't edit the videos, he's in charge of the school, all the departments, sales department, HR. Partly he's in charge of the marketing department in terms of customer communication, payment systems, CRM, customer relationship management. There's a lot of things that I would not manage to mention in an hour that need to be done in a company. And I have to thank him for bringing that value to the company, because he's always been the technical entrepreneur of the company. I've always been the soul of the company. He's been as I said, the how we do this. This is the way we're going to get there. And he applied those strategies, business strategies predominantly.
So who's the mind behind your videos?
Completely me. The videos are completely me. Again, I create the content. I write the ideas for the videos, the script. I talk to the editing guy. I always give feedback for my videos because I get drafts. I watch them. I say what has to be cut off, what has to be added. Since I have this experience in editing myself, and probably it's not the editing experience, it's more the sort of personality that I have. I like beautiful things, and I sort of feel when a video is done right. And being a consumer on social media today, you kind of learn what works and what doesn't, especially when you're the mega mind of a YouTube channel yourself. And so I connect all these elements and I show them, or I use them in the work we do on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, everywhere. Like Steve Jobs said in a speech, I don't remember, was it at Stratford or somewhere?
Stanford,
he said
yes.
that he took a calligraphy course when he decided he'd give up the university. I'm sure everybody knows this speech. So at that time, it made no sense. Why would he do a calligraphy course? He didn't need that. but he did it for some reason. He liked it. And then eventually, years after that, when they produced the first Macintosh, he got the chance to use those skills and to create those fonts that we are currently using. And so I remember this phrase distinctively, and I love it. Eventually, the dots connect backwards. That's what's happening in my case, I guess. I'm not a video editor, but the dots connect backwards. Everything I did, everything I saw, and I worked up until now, I have the chance to implement today.
How much time do you dedicate to your YouTube channel and social media per week?
You know, it varies. There are weeks when I work like 7 hours a day on creating the content, and there are weeks when I don't do anything at all for them except answer the comments and talk to my subscribers or followers on Instagram and TikTok. And so it really varies. It's really hard for me to give an average number because I'm always on call. When I get a notification, or I try to spend around an hour a day to answer messages. Sometimes it's much more, especially when I have live videos on YouTube or on Instagram. It's like after I finish those live videos, I have an avalanche of questions and answers. It sort of engages the community. And so I am there for hours in a row, and it's been always like that. I would put my daughter to sleep at 10 o'clock in the evening and then continue answering the messages for around 2 hours. And it happened a lot of times. I have to say that I try to be, as a YouTuber, one thing that I've noticed, what works for this platform is the consistency. And so I made a promise to myself last year in January that I would post a video every single week on a Wednesday at 8 o'clock in the evening. I started producing and creating these videos in advance so that I had them. But I'm not, again, I'll have to stress this, I'm not a YouTuber or TikToker or Instagrammer. That is a hobby, and that is completely part-time. I'm a school founder. I have 55 employees. I have an online language school where I have to be. And so obviously, I'm both here and there, but I'm much more time I'm involved in the progress of the school and in making it work, because that's where the customers are. You know, you can't be nice on YouTube and neglect your customers. And I tried to create the videos in advance. I tried to do that, like shoot 2-3 videos in a week and then have them pending and being edited on time. And then the pandemic hit and I wasn't able to follow that schedule. And it was really tough because we had to move out of the city because we were severely quarantined. And I had my daughter and I could not shoot any videos with her in the house. Needless to say, could I work? I couldn't work at all. And I started shooting videos roughly everywhere, not in my studio. I would use my parents' house, the balcony, outside, or anything just to do that. The weirdest thing was that the content became, not that it became better, it started creating higher engagement. And so I thought, maybe that's the secret. I don't have to prepare a video for a week because probably I'm overdoing it. I have to make a video a day, and that's going to be pretty much the same as if I worked on that video for a lot of time. And that conclusion helped me a lot because ever since then, I improvise. I prepared the sketch. I have some sort of notes and ideas, but I have to be honest with you, it's 99% improvised. Nothing you see in the videos is rehearsed, read from a prompter, or from a script. It's completely improvised. And it's a skill that I've been shaping in time. I wasn't able to do that 2 years ago, but I am now, thanks to the fact that I just pushed myself to just do it. And then it worked out fine. It's not like I have a schedule. I have no schedule.
I recall the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki, and he was doing a seminar about McDonald's. He was talking to students and he said, how many of you know McDonald's? And all of them raised their hands. Okay, how many of you think that they can do better hamburgers than McDonald's? And all of them raised their hands. And then he said, okay, how come McDonald's is rich and you are poor? And this is a very important thing. So I think most of the times we put all of our energy in improving ourselves and not enough energy in selling ourselves. How much creative you are and how much sales of a person are you?
The reason for working on or posting or creating this free content on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram was not to attract customers, but this is the outcome. And so when you really believe in what you do and you do it right, it has to come as a result. However, you have to have a well-established marketing system in place. And that's definitely not something I would do on my own. I have to say that I'm not just an English language teacher, YouTuber, or, for example, school founder. I'm also an entrepreneur, and I do a lot of reading on that. If you check my library at home, then 80% of the books are on entrepreneurship. We read, both me and my husband, we read how could we systematize some actions in our school, the departments that we have, how we delegate, what we delegate, and how we check on that. And so it's a lot of mechanisms that are set into place. But to put it simply, you have to have the proper people on the team. That's very important. And then when you find the right people, you have to make sure that they know what they have to do, because the person can be amazing, can be very talented, but if he's not given the right position, he's not going to yield a good result. So having the right people on the team, and then having it clear what they have to do, having the work procedure set in place, the departments set in place, and the communication between departments. And so we have the marketing department and sales department, if to answer your questions, strictly connected to each other. They continuously communicate. I'm the head of the marketing department in school. I have the team as well. And my husband is the head of the CEO, but we have the head of the sales team. And so we constantly communicate with what's happening with the offer and demand, if to put it in simpler terms. Yes, what can we offer as a school? We can offer 1,000 slots for online courses in a matter of 2 months. Yes, because they enroll every 2 months. We have new customers. Okay, so that's the offer. What is the demand on the market, and can we fill that in? The good news for us is that we are always overbooked. We don't have the problem of forming the groups or delivering the course for students per se, but this is a continual communication. I mean, we talk on a daily basis. Daily, we check our accounts, we have our managers, we check on our managers, we see how it's going, and so we keep it. It's like an expression that I like using. It's more of a Romanian expression, but I'll use it. We like to keep our hand on the pulse, so I know what's happening on a daily basis. That's what a successful company needs. Based only on passion and energy, you can't do it. Based only on the system, you can't. You have to combine them. As I said, we have 55 people in our company, out of which 37 are teachers. And so obviously the rest are either sales managers, heads of departments, coordinators, quality control managers, people who communicate on social media and answer the messages. There's outsourcing some services, such as integrating a widget from the website with our CRM. It's things that there's no way in the world 2 or 3 people would be able to do. It takes a company for that. And we got to this moment after having read and set in place business systems, which we found from books. Thanks God there are books, including Kiyosaki, like Richard Branson, a lot of them.
Yes. I see that we are reading the same books. You mentioned your colleagues and your team. You're the face of your company. Some of them, especially because you have more than 50 people around you, some of them could be sort of jealous because you're the celebrity and they feel that they are doing all the work.
I don't think that happens. And if it does, I think it's just that those people who have that, it's, I wouldn't say their problem, because it is a company problem. And I'm very, 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 like 99% sure that it's not happening. The people who are here, we have a strong company culture. And you are right, I am the face of the company, but there's a reason I do this. I don't do that for feeding my ego, or I don't know, because I want to be everywhere and I don't want to let anyone else be the face of the company. It's just that I know how marketing functions, and it is impossible to associate Apple with 10 different people. You associate it with Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
And knowing that, I implement that. People in my company love the fact that they are part of this team that is so popular online, that has such a founder, because I inspire them. I don't take it as a, I'm your boss and you got to do what I tell you, and this is the way it's going to work. We are not actually having this pyramid system that here's the boss, head teacher, and blah, blah, blah. It's very linear. It's very When I talk about the people on my team, I never say my employees. I hate that word. When I refer to them, I say my colleagues. Even when I talk to my subscribers or followers, I tell them one of my colleagues is going to get in touch with you because I see them as colleagues. And so whoever doesn't see that about me or sees me as a problem or is kind of envious of this, and this is his problem because I definitely don't send this message. It's about the communication. It's about the way I act around these people, the way they are being coordinated by their head teachers. You cannot have a tribe of 100 people surviving without a leader. You have to have a leader. So when they accept their leader, I think it's a win-win situation.
Yes, I agree with you. Last thing, how do we find you if we want to learn English with you?
So you can find me on my YouTube channel. We've been talking about this channel a lot lately in this interview. The YouTube channel is Rita Engleza. That would be the pronunciation in Romanian. And Engleza is actually the word for English in Romanian. And I'm going to spell that out. Engleza. And the exact same name you can use for TikTok and Instagram. I also have a TikTok channel, which I opened accidentally, and I'm not working on it accidentally anymore. I love it, which is part of the adaptability thing I was talking about. And also the Instagram where the only chance for people to text me in person and to talk to me is Instagram because we have a DM, which you can't do on TikTok. There's thousands of comments and I lose track of them. Same for YouTube. So if you want to text me in person, you can use my Instagram or my email address, but I honestly hate the email. I don't use it that often. If I'm a person who doesn't even read CVs, imagine what I do with the email.
Yeah.
I've moved forward with the other account. That's just me, I guess. So these 3 accounts you can find me on.
Okay, this is very interesting because at the moment I hate TikTok and I advise people not to use them because I think it's evil. But if you say so, and I agreed with you for the whole interview, I think I will have a rethought about that and I will adapt to the new standards. Do you have a website we can check?
Fantastic English is the school I founded. You can find it like that on Google, Fantastic English. It's fantasticenglish.md. We also have a Facebook page and the website, which I've just mentioned, but make sure you write it with a hyphen, fantastic-english.md, our website, where we, by the way, have the section for HR, and you can apply for a job as well. At the same time, the phone number you can call, but I think people would like to contact me in person, which I'm fine with because I'm always there for this.
Okay.
Make it more personal.
Thank you very much, Rita. It's been a pleasure to spend some time with you, and we have a lot of material to work on.
It's been a pleasure as well, an immense pleasure for me. I really hope that like the interview or the things that I've shared today, a lot of them are not really so out there because people don't ask me about that. And so I want to have the chance to give out to the community because I feel like I can. And so I really hope that it's useful for the teachers who are watching this. And not only for teachers, maybe for potential teachers or potential workers in learning languages.